All right. Well, hello and welcome everybody to today's webinar on business waste reduction and recycling. My name is Melanie Mitchell. I'm the Corporate Business Manager with Oregon State's Professional and Continuing Education Unit. And here with me today is Michelle Metzler. She's the Education Chair at the Association of Oregon Recyclers. Michelle, would you head to the next slide? I just want to introduce PACE a little bit. Perfect. So I'm with PACE, Oregon State's Professional and Continuing Education Unit, and we are a division or part of the Division of Outreach and Engagement. And as part of our mission and the mission of a Division of Outreach and Engagement, we like to connect Oregon State University, the state's only land-grant university, to the rest of the world by making educational programs accessible wherever and whenever people need to learn. Other units that part of our division are Extended Campus and the Extension Service, which we have satellite campuses throughout the state. So our courses here at PACE, we offer courses and workshops and different services to meet educational needs for the professional and the hobbyist. We offer high quality continuing education training in different formats that I'll discuss towards the end, designed for different people, professions, and organizations. And partnerships are key to us here at PACE. Partnerships provide amazing opportunities for professionals in continuing education that advance their careers and foster professional development and benefits to the community of all shapes and sizes. And here at PACE, we are committed to bringing the best of Oregon State University to people of all ages and industries. And we're really proud about partnering with associations across the state and the nation to do just that. So I'm very proud to tell you a little bit more about a specific one that has begun a little over 3 years ago now with the Association of Oregon Recyclers in our PACE unit. And we launched together an online recycling class. And this self-paced class is called Recycling 101. So in the next slide, I will tell you a little bit about, more formally, my partner, Michelle Metzler, and she can speak further about associations that she serves. So Michelle, she's the Educational Chair at Oregon, the Association of Oregon Recyclers, Recycling and Composting Coordinator at Waste Management, and she has worked with hundreds of businesses, a wide variety of industries to develop waste reduction strategies. She has extensive experience conducting waste audits, providing staff trainings, developing educational programs, and helping just to find creative ways for businesses to reduce waste and increase the recycling. She currently works as a recycling and compost coordinator for Waste Management, where she develops community and business recycling programs. And prior to joining Waste Management, Michelle worked with Monmouth County Sustainability Program, where she helped government facilities reduce their waste and implement new recycling programs. She holds a bachelor's degree in environmental economics from Western Washington University. We're proud to have her here today. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be here and have the opportunity to talk both about the Association of Oregon Recyclers, business recycling, as well as introduce all of you to the Recycling 101 course. So before we get into recycling, I just want to spend a few minutes talking about the Association of Oregon Recyclers. So as many of you know, the Association of Oregon Recyclers, or AOR, is a statewide organization that brings together recyclers, local governments, businesses that are interested in recycling together to work to advance recycling throughout the state of Oregon. We've been a nonprofit that's been active in this arena since 1977 and are committed to continuing to advance recycling in our state. And so Recycling 101 is just one of the many ways that we are working to advance recycling. We are a membership organization, and I encourage your business to look up AOR or contact me or any of our other board members, many of which are on the call today, to learn more about the association and how we can partner to work with your organization or to help with your individual recycling programs. Our main focus as an organization is educational events, conferences, and forums, creating publications. So we have newsletters and listservs and other materials that help us all understand recycling in the state, providing networking opportunities for our diverse membership to connect and share our perspectives about how we can work together to, again, advance recycling. And then we also participate in the legislative process to help improve sustainable materials management. So what we're going to be talking about today is an introduction to business recycling, why recycling is important, and a few tips for setting up recycling in your workplace. And then we'll be reviewing Recycling 101, the online course that's offered through Oregon State University in partnership with the Association of Oregon Recyclers. And with that, we'll give you a brief overview of the course and then also talk about the modules of the course that are particularly relevant to businesses. So recycling, I'm sure you've all heard of the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, and recycle, and that's really what we're going to be talking about today is the combination of all 3 of these elements and really talking about how these things are different, but how they all play together in your business's waste reduction and recycling plan. So we often use the 3 R's interchangeably, but they're all very different concepts. So reducing waste is to create less waste, so that's making decisions that result in less waste. Reusing is taking the materials that we already have and using them multiple times. And then recycling is when we take a waste product and we create something new. So we're going to be talking about all of these concepts, and I'm sure you hear them often, but it's really important to note that reducing, reusing, and recycling are all different, but all need to be incorporated in order to have a successful waste reduction program. So this is a graph from the Environmental Protection Agency that shows the most recent data about nationally what we're throwing away. So this graph shows what we put into landfills after recycling and after composting. And what I think is really important to note is that nearly 21% of what we threw away in 2012 was food waste, nearly 15% is paper and cardboard, nearly 9% yard trimmings, a significant portion of plastics, glass, metals. Most of these materials can easily be recycled or composted through existing programs that we have in Oregon and throughout the country, yet it still makes up a significant portion of our landfill. Very few of these things are true garbage, so things that really need to go to the landfill. Most of these things can be diverted and placed in a recycling or a composting system. So really what this represents is a huge opportunity for us as businesses and as folks in the recycling industry to take advantage of these resources and put them back into use rather than simply put them in a landfill. And really what that involves is switching our thinking to think of waste as a resource rather than a waste product. So the things that we recycle every day can be made into new products. Some examples, whenever we are able to recycle metal, we can make pretty much anything that we can make out of virgin or new metal into the same products that we can make from recycled content. So when we have metal cans, we can make those into bridges, into airplanes, bicycles, metal furniture, supplies for building, new packaging containers. Metal is a material that is very versatile in recycling, and we can make it into a number of different materials. Plastics are also something that's very commonly recycled. So plastics is a material that are rarely made into its exact same thing again. So it's pretty rare to have a plastic bottle turn back into a plastic bottle. Oftentimes what we do with plastics are turn it into a more durable good. So it's common for plastics to become furniture or park benches, fleece jackets, carpets, t-shirts, other types of clothing, and a lot of other materials that are, again, very useful. Paper products are generally turned back into paper products. So, anything from a cardboard box to a cereal box to a frozen food box, your daily newspaper, magazines, you can even make pencils or other creative uses out of paper. So again, all of these waste materials are really a resource and something that can be an input into making new materials and something for those businesses that are manufacturers to also consider how you can use recycled content in your processes. So for those materials that we do have to dispose of, recycling is a great resource or a great way to dispose of those materials. Recycling conserves a number of different resources, and depending on the type of material that you're attempting to recycle, there are different environmental benefits associated with that. Recycling helps to save energy. So making an aluminum can out of recycled material rather than new material saves about 95% of the energy needed to manufacture it. Whenever we're making paper out of recycled content rather than from new materials, there's about a 50% savings in both air and water pollution. And recycling also creates a lot of jobs. On a ton-for-ton basis, recycling creates about 6 times as many jobs as landfilling waste, so recycling is also a great way to support the local economy. Recycling also has a number of benefits to businesses like yourself, so businesses that are looking to start and improve recycling programs. One of the benefits is potential cost savings. You can see from this sketch on this slide an example of how recycling could save a business money. So for example, if you have a 4-yard container serviced every week for garbage, it may be possible to save money by putting half of those materials in the garbage and then half of those materials in the recycling. The more waste you generate, the more opportunity there are for cost savings, and rates and services vary widely throughout the state of Oregon, as well as throughout the country. But in general, if you're able to recycle materials rather than put them in the garbage, there is going to be a cost savings associated with that. And if you're able to recycle a large volume of materials, for example, if you're able to recycle a large volume of cardboard, it may also be possible to create a revenue stream from these materials. Another benefit to businesses is really helping to engage your employees and your customers. There are a lot of folks that buy your products and also folks that you employ that this is of interest to, and they want to be a part of a company that's working on recycling and other sustainability initiatives. And it can also help your organization build brand and make sure that folks are associating your organization with sustainability and resource conservation, which may be one of their values. So over the last decade, we've seen a huge increase in businesses taking steps towards becoming more sustainable and implement more green practices in their day-to-day operations. These are just a few examples of businesses that have taken bold leaps and created policies that incorporate waste reduction, recycling, and just overall greening of their businesses. So Walmart, General Motors, REI, a number of businesses have committed to either zero waste, which is generally 90% recycling rate, or trying to go landfill free and sending nothing to landfills. We've seen a huge increase in the use of reusable bags, green cleaning products, the organics industry, and we're predicting a huge increase in consumer demand for green products and services. So it's very important for your business to be aware of these trends and also think about how you can incorporate these trends into your day-to-day operations. So not only is green business important to your customers, it also matters to your employees. A number of studies have linked employee engagement, productivity, and employee retention with company sustainability initiatives, and working to improve recycling initiatives is one step that your business can take to help your company move in this direction. A couple studies in particular, one done by Monster Track shows that young workers want employment with a green company. 92% would choose working for an environmentally friendly company over a company that is less environmentally friendly. And then 80% of people who work for large companies felt greater motivation and loyalty towards their jobs and companies, the more socially responsible their employers came. And there's also been a link to employees being more productive, and I think that can be largely attributed to the engagement that sustainability initiatives allow those employees to have. So there are a lot of different reasons to recycle and to increase recycling at your business. So before we get into the steps to setting up recycling, I just want to touch on waste reduction. So waste reduction is very different than recycling, but can have a lot of similar benefits to your business. Waste reduction involves reducing and reusing, and really asking, so rather than looking at the waste that your business generates and asking the question, how can I recycle this? Waste reduction is asking the question of why did we create this waste in the first place, and then looking for ways not to make that waste. So this has significantly more environmental benefit as well as significantly more potential for cost avoidance for your business. A couple of generic examples of waste reduction that may or may not be applicable to your business are looking at things like using reusable cups in break rooms. So instead of having disposable cups, creating that culture where you're using reusable cups each day, things like double-sided printing or electronics processes, and then really looking at purchasing to look at if this product is going to break in the next 6 months and you'll need to replace it, or is there another option that will last 2 or 3 years? Is there opportunity to rent or borrow something instead? And just holistically looking at the things that you're throwing away on a regular basis, and again, asking that question, why are you generating those things? So I challenge you to think about your day-to-day operations of your business and pick 1 or 2 things that is a constant stream of waste that you're generating every day, and then ask that question of how can I avoid this and why are we creating it, and then challenge yourself to create a solution that's going to create less waste. So for those materials that we do have to dispose of, recycling, as we discussed, is a great option for those. So what we're going to do now is review some basic steps to setting up recycling in your workplace. And so the first step in that is asking yourself, what type of waste does your business generate? And then what is accepted in your local recycling program? Recycling programs vary significantly across the state of Oregon as far as what material can be accepted, and vary even more as we look at different states or different countries. So before starting any sort of recycling program, it's really important to check with your city or county or your waste hauler to see what materials are accepted in your local program. Some of the commonly accepted recyclable materials include plastic containers, metal, cardboard and paper, and glass. Oregon is somewhat unique in that most of our curbside programs do not include glass in any sort of a mixed recycling collection, so that'd be something that would be very important to check about when setting up a recycling program. So first step is identifying what you have to recycle so that you can create a plan to implement recycling at your business. The other thing is to make sure that you're not limiting your recycling program to those basic curbside collected materials, but to also explore other materials that may be recyclable for your business. So in Oregon, we're very fortunate to have a number of recycling programs for different materials. Some examples include fluorescent lights, toner cartridges, cell phones, electronics, refrigerators, anything that you're really generating on a continuous basis. I encourage you to look into recycling systems for those materials to ensure that those things can be recycled. Okay, so once you've figured out what your business is able to recycle, you need to make sure that you have the infrastructure for your employees to be able to recycle. So what we often recommend is to have garbage and recycling containers paired. Most people are not going to be willing to take an extra few steps or go out of their way to recycle. So we want to try to set up systems so that people have a choice. So whenever they have something to dispose of, recycling is equally convenient as garbage. So that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to put a recycling bin next to every garbage. It might mean that you don't need as many garbages as you already have. A lot of businesses have garbage cans set up throughout their manufacturing facility or at every employee's desk, when really maybe you don't need that many garbage containers. So when setting up recycling, also looking at the garbage containers you have and thinking about, can you take away some of those garbage cans so that you don't have to have quite as many recycling containers? Also looking around your facility to see if you have something that you can repurpose to be used as a recycling container. So if you have cardboard boxes, or if you have too many garbage containers, can you repurpose some of those and set those aside to be used as recycling containers? And ensuring that those recycling containers are consistent throughout your facility. So again, it's really easy for your employees to access. And then making sure you have recycling set up outside as well. So calling your garbage and recycling hauler to make sure that you have recycling containers outside your building and sufficient collection service. So ensuring that when people are recycling inside, there's enough capacity in your container outside so that none of that recycling collected inside needs to be disposed of in the garbage. So the next step would be educating and motivating your staff to participate in the program. A lot of people think that they know how to recycle, but when it comes down to it, most people are pretty confused by the recycling system. And so I encourage you to use the communication channels that you generally use. You know your business better than anyone else, so however you usually communicate to your employees about new programs, I encourage you to use those same channels to talk about recycling. Some suggestions are distributing recycling guidelines to all employees. Again, the recycling system varies significantly based on the city or county that you're in. So getting those community-specific recycling guidelines and distributing those to all of your employees. Incorporate recycling training into a staff meeting and into new employee trainings, making sure that everyone is on board with what's recyclable at your facility and your system that you have in place. And also when launching or expanding your recycling program, to have some sort of attention-getting kickoff to make sure that folks know that this is important to your business and it is a priority to your company. So planning something like a waste-free lunch or maybe a department competition to see who can recycle the most, or finding ways to make recycling fun and exciting for your employees. And one thing that's really important is not forgetting about your janitorial staff and anyone who empties the recycling bins. Really, the janitorial staff is that link between the recycling that you and your employees are doing inside your business and then making sure that those recyclables actually get to those containers outside. So be sure to include them in any sort of staff training as well. And then once the program is already set up, it's really important to maintain and expand your recycling efforts. So again, use those communication channels that you already have at your business and incorporate recycling into those. So reminding folks about what's recyclable and ideas for waste reduction tips, making sure, again, to train new employees. Having a recycling champion is really helpful. What a recycling champion is someone at your business that ideally is really interested in recycling, has a little bit of time to spend working on the program, but somebody that can follow up and make sure that you're not forgetting about your recycling programs and that you're always working for continuous improvement on those programs. And then once you have a basic recycling program set up, target additional materials for recycling. So if you already have good recycling in place for paper and cardboard, but maybe don't have an electronics recycling program set up, that could be your next step. And always having new goals for ways that you can expand your program. After setting up recycling bins, I think the most important thing in maintaining a successful program is really creating a culture where recycling is important. And by creating a culture, I mean making recycling a norm at your business. Recycling shouldn't be something that's optional for employees. It really should be part of the way that you do business in order to be successful, in order to be sustained. So just like safety or dress code or any of your other policies, there should be an exception that employees participate in recycling efforts. Once you have a culture where recycling is valued, you're going to get a number of those benefits that we talked about earlier, such as cost savings, employee engagement, and other benefits, as well as ensuring that you're having to spend less time on reminding people what to recycle because they already know, it's already part of what they do when they show up to work at your business is they know that there's an expectation that they can recycle. So now we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the Recycling 101 course through the Association of Oregon Recyclers and Oregon State University. So this is an online self-paced course, and now we're going to watch a quick video. Hopefully the audio works on this. If it doesn't, let me know.
Hi, I'm Kate Brown, and I'm currently serving as Oregon's Secretary of State, and I serve as the chair of the Oregon Sustainability Board. I am excited to welcome you to the Association of Oregon Recyclers Recycling 101 online course. Oregon has always been a leader in recycling. We were the first state in the nation to establish a bottle bill, and we consistently have one of the highest recycling rates in the country. Recycling 101 is intended for people in the recycling industry that want to learn more and stay up to date on current issues. Companies that want their employees to gain a comprehensive understanding of the recycling process, and anyone who just wants to learn more about these great topics. The course was developed by experts in the recycling field. Let's take a look at what this course offers. The course covers the big picture of the 3 R's and the recycling process for various products, commercial and household waste management, and learning how you can take what you've learned and make your own impact. After successfully completing each of the module tests, you will receive a certificate of completion. Recycling 101 will allow you to take the class at your own pace any time of day. It's available in English and Spanish, and it's affordable. Recycling 101 is a great way to learn about how waste reduction, recycling, and composting help protect our natural resources and help to mitigate the serious environmental issues facing our society. Please join me in taking this great class.
Okay, so that was a brief overview of Recycling 101. As was mentioned, again, it is online and self-paced, so you or your employees can really take it in whatever time you have allocated to learn about this topic. The course is $75 to register for the entire course. If you have 5 or more people from your organization that register for the course, then it's only $50 per person. And if you're unable to take the entire course, we do also offer each individual module at only $20 each. So the course is broken up into 8 different sections. So the first is an overview of recycling, and then there's a module about thoughtful consumption, how recycling works, managing food scraps and yard debris, managing hazardous waste, waste reduction at work and play, sustainable materials management, and build a sustainable world, personal steps to empower your community. And now I'm going to highlight a few of the modules that are particularly relevant to businesses. So the first module is very relevant to businesses, Recycling 101, and it's also free. So it's a great opportunity to just learn more about the course, learn more about recycling, and see if the course would be a good fit for you and your employees. It also provides a general overview to terminology and information on recycling, more about recycling in Oregon, and again, what else you can learn from taking the course. The second module is also relevant to businesses and the decisions that you're making every day. So this one is on thoughtful consumption, which is similar to smart purchasing and just thinking about the way that we buy goods and services in a way that matches our environmental and recycling or waste prevention goals. So being thoughtful about the purchases that we're making. And this module can really help you understand how products that your business creates affect solid waste and recycling systems, and also help your business understand how your purchases really do matter. And it will do that by showing you more reasons why you should reduce and recycle, the different cultural influence that encourage consumerism, and how your business can play the part in that field, as well as learn more information about different types of products, packaging, and how those fit into the solid waste and recycling system. The next module is about how recycling can work, especially if you're a business in Oregon. This is relevant, but even if you're outside of Oregon, many of these things still apply. And this will help you get an in-depth understanding of recycling and can help your business by furthering your recycling knowledge and understanding the waste that your business produces and how you can create systems that will help avoid that waste. The next section is about managing food scraps and yard debris. This is particularly relevant if your business generates food waste, and especially if you live in an area with access to composting. There are several areas in the state of Oregon and across the country that have commercial composting programs. So if your business does generate food waste or yard waste, I encourage you to contact your city, county, or waste hauler to see if recycling or if composting and food waste collection is available in your area. And if this is something that is relevant to you, then this module will help you understand the composting system and why it's especially important to participate. The sixth module is about waste reduction at work and play. And so if you take just one module of this course, this would be a great module to take. This is made specifically for businesses and will provide you more information about how your business can set up a recycling program, and also think about recycling as a whole system and how your business is really a part of that system. The next section is about sustainable materials management. Sustainable materials management is another way for us to talk about the life cycle of the materials that we consume. So rather than just limiting the environmental impact of a product to if that item is recyclable or not, sustainable materials management allows us to take the production, the use, and the disposal into consideration. So this module is a great introduction to the field of sustainable materials management, and it will help you understand how your business can make smarter purchasing choices as well as smarter choices when it comes to your recycling programs. And then lastly, Section 8 is about building a sustainable world and personal steps to empower your community. And so this module can be really helpful for you in learning about ways to engage your employees and your customers in your sustainability goals and initiatives. Much of the information provided in this module will be relevant to your recycling programs as well as any other sustainability programs that your business is working to implement. So figuring out how to understand barriers to implementing change at your organization, following a step-by-step process, and determining what sort of communication is going to be the most effective in helping your employees make a shift. So, as you may have noticed, almost all of the modules can apply to your business. 7 of the 8 modules are particularly relevant to businesses, and I encourage you to visit the Recycling 101 website to learn more about this course. Additionally, I encourage you to learn more about the Association of Oregon Recyclers. We are a network of organizations working to advance recycling in Oregon, and are always looking to connect with other organizations who share our interest in recycling.
Thank you, Michelle. That was wonderful. I want to get some questions answered today, and we are so proud, PACE, all of our team here at PACE is so proud to partner with AOR to bring Recycling 101 out to the public. There is a few questions that have come in. Kate Taylor has asked, she was very impressed by your statistics on job creation. She's wondering where you got those statistics. Is that part of the course modules?
Great question. I do not know if that is specifically from the course or not, but that is from a study that the EPA did about the job creation benefits of recycling. So I would be happy to forward that source on to Kate.
Great, thank you. Now feel free to chat any more questions that you all may have for Michelle, for me about the course and the course offerings, the individual courses. It was a great discussion about recycling and the overview of the program as well. Just me, underscoring the benefits that Michelle talked about is, this course being an online, in-depth, Oregon-oriented recycling waste prevention program and composting program. I want to underline that too. This course, being self-paced, provides the participants the flexibility to take the course at their own pace. Also to note, it's available in Spanish, which is great, and it really explains where recycling goes after it leaves your curb, stressing the importance of end markets and proper preparation for companies. So to take it one step further, my role here with PACE is corporate education and part of e-learning and those e-learning self-paced modules. So if your business would like to learn a little bit more about becoming landfill-free and incorporating green business strategies into your company, Oregon State and I can assist to help bring Recycling 101 to your company with, that bulk enrollment, as Michelle talked about. Recycling 101 is a great start for that. If there's a little bit more about how we can create a customized corporate training solution for your for your company and your workplace, we'll be happy to do so. We do that on a regular basis. A new initiative within our business is to offer employee education and really partner with organizations and companies around the state to train their employees in areas of professional education and project management, Six Sigma, and digital brand management. It's a new initiative, a new program we have, but we're also known for our hobbyist programs and recycling and Master Gardener and craft brewery, and our new craft cider workshops are very popular as well. So courses can be individual courses, the series program like we talked about today, and I'm sorry, the e-learning module series that we talked about today, or certificate programs are groups of on-site courses anywhere from a total of 24 to maybe even 200 hours. So having this online and on-site capability is definitely a benefit of our business, and being able to train groups or cohorts of your staff and having a dedicated resource as me being the corporate staff, project managers on my team, marketing strategists and instructional designers and writers and artists and technologists to make the learning make the learning happen, and Oregon State being really a vehicle for offering course offerings. So I just wanted to kind of point that out if your company is thinking about, taking it a step further. If you're not already a green practicing business, I wanted to point that out. Many of our instructors are like Michelle, where they offer curriculum that's, based on theory, but very practical in application and using industry case studies and hands-on projects and assignments to tackle your business objective, whatever that may be. So we're excited to collaborate with you and serve as a partner to you, as well as new associations, and ensure that you have a top quality experience with Oregon State. So I don't see any more questions coming in. Feel free to chat those to us. As I stated in the beginning, we have recorded this session, and this recording will be available in the next 24 hours. We'll have it up on our website, and I will send a courtesy email to all that have registered, copying Michelle. So if you think of any questions from now until tomorrow, feel free to chat those back to us, or email those back to us. We're happy to get your questions answered, and we really appreciate you all being here today. And I want to thank Michelle very much for being here today, and on behalf of all the PACE team, and sharing your knowledge on business waste reduction and recycling with all of us. Michelle, would you like to close with any final thoughts?
Just thank you so much for having us today. And if you have any questions about the materials we discussed today, or the Recycling 101 course, or the Association of Oregon Recyclers, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thanks so much.